Hi guys, in this video I'll be taking you through enum classes in Kotlin. So what are enum classes? Enum classes are used to represent fixed states or a fixed set of known values. Typically, like when you want to represent constants and probably the associated behavior. And that's when the associated behavior are very simple. So what is this? So when I mean fixed states, I mean things like you want to represent the status of your screen. So you have a success screen, an error screen, a loading screen. So you want to represent them, you want to keep them in the state. So it's safer to use enum classes in this situation, or you want to represent the theme of your screen, dark light mode, dark mode. Use them. Enum class can also be used for navigation in Jetpack Compose. So you want to have a list of your home screen, your profile screen, your settings. So for various destinations, you can also use to manage your HTTP status, like maybe when 200 is a success, 400 is a client error, 500 is an internal server error. So in such situation, you can use enum. You can also use them to represent your role, like admin, user, or guest. So that's like the use case for enum classes. There are cases where you want to have like dynamic values from your database that are not fixed. So in such situation, you should not use enum classes. Rather, you should use the regular classes or sealed interface. And classes can also take in can have methods, but when you have complex logic, it's better to use a class because you can't really extend. Class can they can implement interfaces, but they can't extend classes. They can't be extended like classes rather. Okay, so let's just dive into it now. Okay, so we'll start with a very basic example of direction. So I have an enum class with name directions: north, west, east, and south. So the first attempt is I'm going to print an enum class here. I'm going to print one of the members of that class. So, and I will just do that with, so can just do that directly in the print statement. Let's say directions dot east. So let's run this. Yeah, so you can see it printed here as east. So you can do that for any of the values. If I do that for north, okay, so you have it as north also. Yeah, so that's just getting any of the members. So another thing you can do is enum classes have properties. So if I want to get one of the properties is entries. So if I want to get all the members of the enum class, I can use the entries to get it is able to return an array of all the values. So you can see you can have the array, you can see the array in the result here. North, west, east, and south. So that's like a very basic example. You can get um, the ordinal. So the ordinal is going to give you the exact position of a particular member. So if I have west dot ordinal and I run this, so it's only in one, meaning of course how you can't program is the north is 0, west is 1, east is 2, and south is 3. So the ordinal can be used to get this, and also have something like value of and that property. So I can have what if I say what is the value of, then you pass that particular value of string. So if I say what's the value of north, so not. So another thing is that your enum class can also take in parameters. So I can have degree. So let's say I want to add the degrees to it, and it's going to be an integer. So it requires that I pass in the value for each of them. So let's say starting from not is 0. So we can say west is, let's say west is 90, and east is, okay, so let me do a little rearrangement. South should come for east. So I can say the south is 180, and east can have 270. Okay, so this is like a practical example. So let's run these values off again and see what we have. Okay, so you still have nuts. Well, I can now access. So if I say nuts, and I'm taking the value of, so I can do directions dot not dot degrees. So if I should do this, I should access the value now. Yeah, so I'm having 0. I can do that for any of them. If I do for the east, I should have 270. Yeah, so I have 270 now. So that's another that's, so this an enum class with that is taking the parameter, and you can have your enum class take methods also. So let's create another enum class now. So let's call it operation. So let it handle arithmetic operations. And mind you, if you observe that when naming an enum class, you just start with a capital letter and the rest are listed. While when you are naming each of the member of the enum class, you've got to use all uppercase letters. So let's say I have in the operations, let's say I have plus and so I want to override. So let's say we have a function name apply. So I just perform so basically I think I can just use the body directly. So let me just remove the override. You have minus Okay, so these are two different methods implemented by the operation class. You can have more methods in it, and a simple way I can just use this is I'm here to say I want to get a result. So operations operation dot lesson minus, then you cannot access the apply I have here. I can say 5,3. So you can print the result. So I think I'm using the wrong apply here. Okay, let me get a quick fix for this. Okay, so with this now, we are fine with this, so we can run and see what our result is. So after result 2, because I use the minus. Yeah, so we have 2 here. And we can do same for accessing the plus, so we're expecting to have 8 as a result. Okay, yeah, so we have 8 as expected, just as we expected the results. We got it that way. So let's look at other situations where we can use enum classes. So I can also use an enum class to implement an interface. So let's have an interface. So let me limit printable. Defines there's a method called print. So I can have an let's have an enum class with name status that implements printable. So meaning for every member I declare here, it must implement. So if you over this, so it's telling you that success is not abstract and does not implement an abstract member public abstract from print. Same thing. So for as many member you declare, so let me declare error also. So if you actually implement the members, okay, so same here also. So it attempts to implement it. So let me just put a print statement here. So I have to first override the function print. Sorry. So basically I can just print line and say success and implement it also. Let's see error. Okay, so what can we do with this? So just with invoking this print method, we have success printed, and mind the success printed is the one within the print because they're all in lowercase, not the member of the enum class. And same can be repeated for the error also. If you run this,